My name is Sandra. I am the host of the Win at Real Estate show. My guest here today is Latanya Keyes. Latanya, welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you here today. Tell us a
Thank
little bit
you.
about yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sandra. It's an honor, definitely. My name is Latanya Keyes, and I'm a short term rental interior design expert. And I am located in Los Angeles, California. And I've been doing interior design for over 20 years. My husband and I own the company, and we have been super blessed to be able to um, just provide interior design for real estate agents. We started doing staging, gosh, years ago in the Newport Beach and Newport Coast, Marbella area, Laguna Hills area, and it has just snowballed from there. And right now we used to live in Orange County. I actually grew up in Orange County, and then we transitioned and moved to Los Angeles in 2014. And when things kind of settled for the real estate market, and it was slowing down, I went into the HR industry because that's a lot of my background. I worked for a staffing agency doing HR management for a few years, and Jay Massey called me and was like, he is, gosh, the short-term rental design. Well, he's not design, but he's a short-term rental mastermind as far as, putting up units like all over the U.S. And he called me and he was like, I need your help. And so I was like, what are you doing? And so he's like, I'm doing Airbnb and short-term rentals. I was like, okay, no problem. So we put up a couple units for him, and it has just snowballed. His business has grown. Him and Poppy own that company, and their business has grown, and we have grown, and we have just been so super blessed to be able to help all of his students across the United States put up units, and we're excited to be able to be in this industry and be able to help everyone to put up units. So
I'm so glad that you're here because, as a landlord myself, I have a hybrid. I own short-term, mid-term, and long-term rentals.
mhm,
And when I say I own, is the properties I have not arbitraged them. I own them outright through my company.
okay,
And one of the things that I can tell you is I was thinking about going into short term because I didn't start it short term. When I
right,
built these, banks are relying on you to have that long term rental income. So
yes.
that you wonder, well, should I try it or should I not try it? And the first thing that comes to mind is, where do you start? How do you decorate? So, what could, if you could, share with our audience, could you say three critical important things to keep in mind if someone like myself or someone listening to us today
Sure.
is interested in going short term? What are three things that they should just abide and not miss out?
As far as design and
Yes,
everything, yeah.
yes.
I mean, just making sure that the unit is really going to be good for your guests. I mean, we can go in and put curtains and furniture and everything like that, but if the bare bones of the unit is not conducive, for that, like, it's not going to make a difference. We need to make sure that we've got a clean palette, to work with. And sorry, I'm even at a construction site right now, so if you hear stuff, I'm constantly decorating. But yeah, making sure that the walls are painted, making sure that the kitchen is ready to go, making sure that there's not that we don't have to come in and do a bunch of just construction stuff. Those are the main things, because I mean, we flip units in 3 days per unit. So it's really important that the unit is ready to go, like bottom line. So
Key elements. When colors, how important are colors and some key elements of interior decorating on a short-term rental?
yeah, making sure that you have a pop of color is so important. Like I love that picture behind you, making sure you've got color. Like all the rest of the walls in this unit is white, you know what I mean? But you've got the pop of color. Like, you have to have that wow factor, because when people are scrolling through Airbnb or VRBO or, or HomeAway, wherever you're posting, you want to make sure that they're clicking on your unit before they're clicking on any other unit. And so that is our most concern, making sure that we have that pop as soon as you walk through the door. Like people are saying, wow, so we've got to have that wow factor. I've had different operators say to me like, oh my gosh, I got an inquiry and someone says, is this unit fake or is it real? And I was like, that is a compliment.
Yes, yes.
So
Is there a combination or a specific color that would be more attractive for a decorator to include in their short-term rentals, or it's a matter of palette choice?
it's a matter of palette choice. However, the colors that are really hot right now, or hot just across the board, are definitely red, definitely burnt orange, the color behind you, definitely yellow. That is just such a seller. We've had done so many units, and when we have anything that's yellow or red or that burnt orange color, it just flies. It picks up really quickly. So
Any tips for living rooms and dining rooms for our audience? What tips would you like to share with us?
make sure that you don't just over decorate. You want to make sure that you have space for your guests to come in and put their stuff. I've seen a lot of people put just a gajillion plants, a lot of knickknacks around, like, making sure that you have things proportionate. And if your unit is sleeping, 6 people, make sure that you have a dining room that seats 6. I've seen different, units to where it's a 2-bedroom unit and then they have a 2-seater dining room table. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, people are going to want to come and they want to, it's like they're home away from home. So they're going to want to cook. They're going to want to have dinner. That's why they're getting an Airbnb or whatever have you. They want to be able to relax and know that they're getting that extra special, or they could go to a hotel. A hotel doesn't have a dining room table. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So making
yeah.
sure that you think about your guests, think about what you would like to have in your unit and make sure you put those things in there.
Latanya, what do you do? You were mentioning you've helped Jay Massey with his short-term rentals. Is there a signature that a signature post that you like to do and special to your interior decorating that makes you unique? Is there something special? What do you like? What is it that you make different?
Well, he'll tell you, and I'll tell you, king beds. That is the
Wow.
most important. You think that is so like, oh gosh, what's so big about king beds? King beds are so important. Like if you have a king bed, you don't know who's going to sleep there. It could be big, small, 2 people, someone tall, someone short, or whatever have you. But king beds are really super important, very important, and making sure that you have enough lighting in the unit too as well. Even though they have lighting up top, making sure you have enough lamps, and also USB plugs other than the lamps. People will unplug your lamps like in the bedroom to plug in their stuff. It's like, make it easy for them, make sure that you have extra plugins for all of their electronics. Yeah.
That's so true. And when you said the king size beds, is there a specific mattress that you recommend, or just any king size mattress would work? Is there a special one you prefer?
Well, basically, I make the king size mattresses. I've been in business for 20 years and I make sure that a lot of the mattresses out there on the market are just not good. They don't
Mhm.
last a long time.
Mhm.
And also they're really super expensive. But if you're doing a short-term rental, you want to make sure that those mattresses are super firm, that they're
Mhm.
not soft, because again, you don't know what caliber, what who's sleeping on those mattresses.
Yeah.
And so you want to make sure that they're super firm.
Understood. Understood. Well, that's very enlightening. And how about kitchen? Anything? Any tips for the kitchens and how we can make them more welcoming, and how we can help someone understand what the expectations or the bring up that standard of
Yeah.
hospitality for the short term renter?
You'd be really surprised, but make sure you have a blender. I've been in so many short-term rentals that do not have a blender. A lot of
Wow.
people are making protein shakes now. They're making margaritas, and they're like, "There's no blender." Like, so it's very important for each operator to make an exhausted list and stick to that list and think about everything that a person would do in that kitchen and make sure from cooking cooling racks. Like no one has cookie cooling
Cooling
racks
rack.
in there. Yeah, because you want to make cookies. Where are they gonna dry, where are they gonna cool off on? So it's just the little things, the little touches that are so super important. And yeah, so and I especially during this COVID environment, we make sure that we have Keurig coffee makers because it's much more sanitary. Because I'm not going to want to go into a place to where I'm going to touch the filter from someone else, and then I'm digging my hand in the coffee thing so I mean, just think what's more sanitary right now, especially right now with what we're going through in this pandemic. You think of things that are really, really important to guests. Like we put rice makers, but then you have to have chopsticks. So it's important to have chopsticks because I was doing maintenance for Jay and Robert for a while, and people would say, "Where's the chopsticks?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's just use a fork." But then I was thinking, "Oh my gosh, no, they want chopsticks. Like you have to cater to everyone, and so how could we not put chopsticks?" So we started putting chopsticks and those inquiries just disappeared. So
Well, greatness is in the details, right? And you don't really appreciate them until it's, oh, okay, I have the rice cooker, but
right, right.
yeah, it makes sense. It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Any other ideas that you can share with us when we're thinking about interior decorating for it? We're talking about short-term rentals with Latanya Keyes, an expert in more than 20 years as an interior decorator, and more specifically in her niche, which is short-term rentals. Any other ideas and tips on how we can be successful as short-term rental landlords and interior decorating, Latanya?
Absolutely. I think that the other thing that's really important that we've definitely implemented is using king flat sheets across the board, because sometimes you'll have a queen bed and then you'll have a king bed and then you have sleeper. Like if you have a sleeper couch in every single unit, that's more guests that you can have in the unit. And right now it's hot commodity trying to find a sleeper couch, but it's so super important because it's the difference in sleeping four or sleeping six. And so if you use just flat sheets to wrap the mattress, then you're saving money, because then and your cleaners will love you, because then they're not like, is this a queen or is this a king? So it leaves the guesswork out of your cleaners for sure. And especially when you're finished, or whoever you're getting decorating your unit, take a lot of pictures. Take pictures of everything. Like pull the curtain back from the shower. Take a picture of the actual inside of the shower, because people will be like, "What's inside the shower? What type of?" So like leave the guesswork out of it. Open the drawers in the kitchen. Take a picture of everything, the pots and the pans, because a lot of those inquiries will go down if because people will text you, "Are there pots?" Oh my gosh, yes, of course it's pot. So
But I confess that I'm a super host myself, and I have raving reviews, but I have to admit, you've given me three true gems. I do not have blenders in all of them, and I should. I don't have pictures of my pots and pans, and I have been asked, do you have pots and pans?
Yeah.
And the third gem you gave me today is the sheets for the beds. I have the sets, like the fitted sets with a fitted sheet with. I'm going to experiment and pick your brains after the show on how I'm going to go about the sheets on the beds.
Yeah, it'll save you money for sure. And it'll help your cleaners as well, because once you take pictures of everything, laminate it and give it to your cleaners, because then when they go in there, they'll know if something's missing, if you've, the whole 9 yards, because they don't know how you've decorated it and what's supposed to be there. They don't know two plants are supposed to be on the coffee table, and if one is missing, they're like, then you can charge your guests. You won't find out for 3 guests later if your knives are gone, or you know what I mean, or they took a pot, because guests take weird things.
Yeah. And to those of us that joined us today or join us later on, this was a fabulous interview with Latanya Keyes, interior decorator. She's been in the interior decorating business for 20 years with her husband and partner. Latanya, I'm very thankful to you and your time. Anyone that's looking for someone who can specialize in short-term rental design, her passion and her love is for making interior spaces livable and enjoyable for our guests. So Latanya, I want to thank you very much for your time today. Anybody out there, please go to her Instagram account. Her name is Latanya Keyes. It's LANTAYAKEYES Interiors.
Yeah.
Latanya, thank you for your time, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Sandra. Bye.
Ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye.